Hello, Visa Koiso-Kanttila is with us in PÖFF TV studio. We talk about the film Defiant, and it's having its international premiere here in Black Night Film Festival. So welcome.
Thank you.
How are you? How do you feel prior to the premiere?
I feel very happy and privileged, and I'm proud to be here on Tallinn Black Night Film Festival on PÖFF. It's a pleasure to be here.
Give us a little idea about the film. What is it about, and what's the story? And what would you like to point out? What's the main message of your story?
Defiant, called Uhma in Finnish. It's a very reality-based story about young people's lives in today's Finland and in Europe, basically, I guess. It tells about 16-year-old girl called Vilma, who is troubled in many ways. Her dad died some time ago, and now she has a new step-family, and she just doesn't get along with a new stepfather, and which is actually very common in Finland nowadays, because most of the parents, they are divorcing, and of course they build up their new families, and sometimes, especially the teenagers, they don't really get along with new stepfathers and mothers, and very different kind of problems. But the story is very much about the Vilma and her struggling. She's a rebellious girl. In my mind, I see her as a rebellious Pippi Longstrump, if you know.
Yeah.
Not so. Actually, she's sometimes hilarious, but she's rebelling, and she just doesn't surrender anyhow. And of course, then she's taken to the custody, to the youth care institution. She doesn't obey, and the head of this child welfare institution is Kati Outinen, one of the most famous Finnish actors, who has been acting a lot in Aki Kaurismäki films and many others. Anyways, she's also a stubborn lady. Kind of, how would I say, she likes to be more old-fashioned, and actually she has been brought up in the childcare institution by herself also, and she has been raised up by very conservative way, like obeying and following the rules, and doing it old-fashioned way. And she believes that this old-fashioned upbringing is the way how to make young people better, to make them good citizens who pay their taxes and they know how to behave. And of course, these young people, they are a bit different. Problems are a little bit different, and they are not the same as us, basically. The world is different. So, anyways, it's very much about the power struggle between these two ladies, the young lady and this older one, Kati Outinen. And they are both very powerful persons in many ways. What else? There's a lot of music. Vilma, the main character, is expressing herself. It's by rap music. She's also a rapper. And that's something very positive, which keep her going on and gives some hope for her and for audience also, I hope. And anyways, what else? It's an exploding film, very hard to describe, very simple way.
Maybe the interesting fact about the film is that it's inspired by true events.
Yes.
There are so many difficult things happening today in today's world. Why did you pick that subject, and how did you find the stories that you merged inside this film, the true stories?
Yes. At first, maybe I should say that I have been making documentary films more than 25 years, and that's my background. So, of course, I'm always curious and interested in reality, what happens in our society and in our culture. And taking children to the custody is a big issue in Finnish society nowadays. Everywhere in Scandinavia, I don't know so much about Estonian situation, but in Finland, every year we have 20,000 young people, 20,000 children are taken to custody in Finland. which is a huge number. And actually most of those young people, they are taken to the institutions instead of taking them to the grandparents or relatives or step families, for example. But they are taken to the institutions, and that's actually a very big business going on in Finland nowadays. And there is lots of money involved in that, and lots of ethical questions and problems also involved. So that's something I got interested as a documentary filmmaker. Of course, this is fiction and it's drama, but it's, like you said, it's based on reality very much. So, and actually the story is related on the real stories of the young people. I did lots of interviews with young people and also the adults who have been working on those institutions about their experiences. And actually first I made the radio documentary about the subject, and based on the radio documentary and interviews, we made a script of this fiction film, Defiant.
Let us know about the casting process.
Yes.
The main character, Vilma,
Yes.
was fantastic. Like, how did you find her?
By coincidence somehow. Of course, we had a big casting process. We had like 150 young people send their tapes to us, and we are invited something like 50 young people to show up themselves to the casting shootings. And Oona was just one of those. She was actually a little bit older than the other young people. She's a bit older. I don't know. I don't tell how old is she is. She actually started in school for acting in Finland, the highest school level you can get on university level after the filming. But she is just brilliant. She will be a big star, and she's like a natural born talent in every way and explosive.
Well, so she wasn't back then yet the professional actress.
No,
Okay.
not at all. She had done a little bit acting. She has done some acting roles in TV series, but nothing similar like this.
Because it's surprising, because the performance was just excellent, and all the other young actors. How did you work with them? Did you have like a lot of rehearsals before, or you improvised a little bit, or how do you work on a set with actors?
We had quite many rehearsals, and actually we had an acting coach working with us, who was a more experienced actor by herself, called Miina Turunen is her name, very experienced actor, and she actually was coaching these young people quite many months. Actually, we had casting. We had 1 year before we started the filming, and then we had this rehearsal period was almost half a year. So why not during the one fall? There was every weekend they had like 1 day for rehearsals. These young people, and they just love it, of course, and it was the most precious for filming, of course. So they were very ready when they came to the set, and of course I was involved with the rehearsing. But actually, this acting coach Miina Turunen, she had a great role also.
So when you start filming, then they already knew each other very well. So it was a really nice group already going on, yeah.
Yes. They really knew each other, and they already had their own roles, what they could use for building up when filming. So yeah, so it was great help in every way, and it was needed, of course, because they didn't have most of the young people, they didn't have previous experience of acting. They had done some acting at school plays and some how do you say those acting clubs for young children. So, but that was basically all.
So I was just thinking that while watching the film, then I noticed that that also the adults involved in this story, they were like, they thought they would like to help, but they just were a little bit busy with their own, dealing with their own demons. So it felt in one point like the teenagers are left alone with weird methods that doesn't help them, with like the mother she had so many things going on with herself that she basically failed to see her daughter in
Yes.
trouble, and she wasn't able to help. What do you think, like, who should help those kids if the adults around them are failing? What can be done better, or?
It's a very good question, and I can hear you have been watching the film very carefully. I think for me, all the film it's all about encountering each other, how we meet each other as human beings. How do we listen to each other, and how do we see others' needs, and how we react. This is only my personal opinion, but I have a feeling that in today's world, especially in Finland and Western world, I think we are getting overly sensitive in many things. And like we young people, we don't tolerate very much. And actually, how do you say? Yeah, we just kind of take the things which used to be part of the normal youth. When you are a teenage, you are a troublemaker at some level. You test your limits and so. And I think I had my youth in 80s, long time ago. But to be honest, I think that if I will be teenager at this time, if I will do the same things, if I will live again my teenage years, I will be taken to the custody for sure. Mm-hmm. And I will have been taken to the institution for sure. And I'm pretty sure that my future would have been quite different. I wouldn't be making films. I wouldn't be a family man at this point. Everything will be quite different. So my ideas as an adult and as a parent also is that we are getting overly sensitive. At least in Finnish culture. I don't know about Estonia and other countries, but especially in I don't know. I know something about Swedish culture and Finland and Scandinavia. We are getting so sensitive, and we just, I don't know. And at the same time, about upraising the kids, of course, we have forgot how to be strict and how to keep up the rules. We like to be the friends with other kids, which also one problem, part of this problem. So it's a complex question, of course, but yeah. Just my ideas about this.
I was also thinking that it was interesting that you said it yourself as well, that that the teenagers are different today. But I liked the part where the main character Vilma didn't obey without questioning. The authority. Maybe our generation didn't question the authority yet.
No.
But they do, and isn't that good in a sense that? You try to make sense of things that are asked from you. Like she rebelled because she didn't agree.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good thing, I guess. She was a smart girl. She was troubled, but she wasn't like lost. She wasn't the lost. I mean, that somebody can't help her.
Yeah.
But you showed us how the teenagers are navigating through this complex world. In one point, the situation was quite hopeless, but the film didn't end this way. I liked the last scene. We don't have to reveal everything, but but I liked that you offered some really nice solution in the end. Do you want to somehow talk about it without revealing too much? What happened in the
I can only reveal that, of course, I wanted to give some hope for young people like Vilma and and also the audience, of course. So I don't want to reveal too much, but and as a filmmaker, I think that it's always to give some hope at least, because this world is getting so negative and hopeless in many ways. We have wars going on, and we are worried about so many things, climate change and Ukraine and Gaza and so. It's good to remind that we have some goodness in people, in humanity at the end. So if you just scratch the surface, so there is always hope. And especially I like to think that especially in young people there is always hope. We need to trust that they will find their own way if you just support them at least a little bit and give them a chance, basically.
Okay, this is really a really nice thing to say, and maybe in the end I would just like to ask something that actually this question raises all the time while watching also the other films that I've been watching while preparing the interviews, that why is it so that we are able to send the man to the moon, build robots, cure diseases, perform a brain surgery, but somehow we struggle so much with this everyday love and the everyday human relationship in this way, like your characters in this film. Why are we suddenly so incapable in these everyday moments?
That's a very good question, and I think that
what's your opinion? I don't know, there's a lot of films that talks about it, actually, a lot of films.
Yeah, of course it's the very much the, how to say, the inner, the purpose of the art, the purpose of the films. It's to remind about humanity and about these basic needs, and remind us what makes us humans. That's the most important what we can do by our films, and maybe, yeah, reminding and maybe making us at least a little bit better human beings on everyday basis. But why we are so lost? That's a very good question, and that's where I think we could talk all night long about this subject. But yeah, you can guess. Maybe we all should think about this. Why are we lost? And was it better in the old days? No, I don't think so. The problems were different, but especially relating to young people and children, yeah, I guess we're a little bit lost. How to do upraising in proper way, not being only just friends and not just, yeah, at least not give them to institutions. That's the worst thing you can do. I would never. Yeah, of course, sometimes it's the only one solution, but not otherwise.
Is there anything about the film that you would like to point out more that I maybe didn't ask, or maybe you only know about some interesting fact? Or
maybe I want to reveal that there is one real life, for example, of our Vilma, which I was inspired by. And what actually made me to make this film was that I met a girl who never gave up. She was too smart, too stubborn for the system, for this custody system, and she fight her way, and she's actually doing very well nowadays. We are still friends. She just recently, yeah. And I have been just fascinated about this real life stories, young people, and I say, I think there is the hope that, yeah.
okay.
I don't know what else, and I hope that for some people the film could be also empowering that, not to give up, even in the worst circumstances.
Okay, so basically, don't give up, and there's always hope. There are two really beautiful points coming out from this conversation.
Yes.
So good luck with the film and
Yes.
the premiere, and thank you for this conversation.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.